Hey, today on the Cooligans, I am in New York. Alexis is in Los Angeles. We're gonna have a great show talking about a bunch of different subjects. Maybe maybe the wedding of the century. Anything else, Alexis?
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're going to talk about statues being taken down. We're going to talk about Liga MX. We're going to talk about it all.
Okay, so all this and more today on the Cooligans.
Cooligans! Yeah, baby!
Whoa, look at this. A nice yeah, baby, all the way from the West Coast. Hello, Alexis. How are you doing?
You know how we doing out here. I joined the gang, but it's Arsenal, so it's not really.
Okay. Yeah, and I love you said it. You know how we're doing. Who you with? Who you with right now?
Yo, there's a little puppy that I just woke up running around here.
Yeah, the screaming.
I've never taken care of a dog before. I am freaking out.
Yeah, screaming tends to wake up animals. It's a common thing.
Yeah. Ran away from me. Doesn't love me.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I FaceTimed.
Go for it.
I FaceTimed with my wife like maybe 45 times the first day. I'm like, what's this mean? Why is the dog barking? Where do I press for it to pee? Where do I press for it to poop? It's freaking me out, man.
Well, again, welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Christian Polanco. That is...
Yeah. I'm Alexis Guerreros,
okay,
baby.
Cool. All right. We are the Cooligans, all right? We are your favorite stand-up comedians that host the funniest soccer show that you have ever seen on television. And it's not only that. It is what, Alexis?
It's also the gulliest.
That's right. Okay, look at that. You can all the sprats are coming from LA, which is all.
I can hear the sprats. The dog is like the sprats are coming from inside the
house. So yeah, we're excited to be here, to be back. We had a nice holiday break here at Fubo, at Fubo Sports. So Alexis, how did you? Well, we sort of know how you were enjoying your break because you were you've been in LA for about like 3 weeks already, right?
It feels like I've been here for 7 years. I am quite exhausted. The weather doesn't change. Why does anybody live here?
Some people enjoy that weather. I don't know why you're that skeptical about it.
They're soft. Okay. I've also done. I think I've done about 15, maybe 16 LAFC podcasts since I've been here.
How about Galaxy? Get on some Galaxy shows. Is that possible?
There's one. I'm gonna do one at the end of this week. I'm gonna do Corner of the Galaxy, which is gonna be dope.
Oh, okay, that's
but
great.
Only one LA Galaxy podcast reached out to me. Everyone else is like, I do an LAFC podcast. It's out of my kitchen. You want to do it? I'm like, all right, yeah, sure.
Yeah, you did shoulder to shoulder, right?
I did shoulder to shoulder. I've done Defend for the Bank. Okay. I'm doing FCFC later today, actually. I also did Urban Pitch podcast. Let's see. There's like 2 more that I'm forgetting that aren't soccer related. I'm just all over the place. You hand me a microphone in this city, I'm talking into it, baby.
Okay. Well, all right. You're spreading the Cooligans gospel, which you love to see. You've been doing a lot of stand up as well. You were at you were at the Comedy Store on New Year's Eve, right?
I was at the Comedy Store on New Year's Eve on stage like a few minutes just before the ball dropped. And what I liked about it was I do a joke where I explain that I lost 56 pounds, and typically the crowd applauds and, you're amazing, you're a hero. And I'm like, stop it, relax. But sometimes some people don't clap. And there was a gentleman who is what you picture when you think of Hollywood, in his early 50s, chiseled jawline, probably was a model for a while, V-neck, tight, muscular guy. Not only didn't clap, he rolled his eyes at me. Okay. Well, you also described
this man very well. That I think you write like romantic novels. It feels like erotica.
I mean, let's be honest. I recognized him from the moment he walked in. I was like, hey, all right, that guy's been working hard, all right? And he deserves an applause. But he rolled his eyes at me. So the last thing that happened, I got off stage at like 11:50. So the last thing that this guy remembers from 2019 is me belittling him for half of my set. I ripped this guy to complete shreds, and I got to be honest, I'm proud of it. You know, I mean, what a way to end 2019.
Just because he didn't acknowledge that you lost some weight, right? And he also does not know who you are. So you really want.
I don't even acknowledge. Honor it is what I'm asking. Honor it. How dare you roll your eyes at me?
Okay. Yeah.
And you know what he did when I was like, you don't clap? He did the real wide, like condescending clap. And that's when like, poof, I went beet red. And I was like, oh, my man's getting every bit of smoke. My dude's going to be locks by the end of this because he's getting all the smoke.
It's so fun. It's so weird. It's not because it's not fat shaming, but it's not fat praising. It's something you want something new that I don't think has been invented yet.
Yeah, you know what it is. He wasn't proud enough of me. You know what I mean? And,
okay, yes.
And that's it.
I will sort out your issues.
I see an older man not be proud of
me.
It brings up a lot. Yeah, exactly.
So, all right, cool. I'm glad you get.
I've been yelling at restaurants. They don't know how to make a black and white milkshake out here. Some lady said she never heard of a black and white milkshake. Christian, you don't care about food at all. Have you ever heard of a black and white milkshake?
But I do believe in reintegrating milkshakes because we don't need segregation anymore.
Yeah. I was like, that's rude, lady. You know, what year is it? Oh, does the vanilla milkshake get its own water fountain? Disgusting. I'm not eating in this establishment.
Unreal.
Well, there it is right there. So you're seeing what they think is a black and white milkshake. Which the first time I went there, the lady said, "Yeah, we can't make it. We'd have to make 2 milkshakes and mix them, and we're going to charge you for 2, and they're $10 each." So I was like, "That's not happening."
Well, to me, all that looks like, it looks like just like some black people moved into a milkshake, you know, and it's just a minimal amount that we're allowed, not enough.
On the bottom, I can actually read I and S. I think it says ISIS. In this milkshake, dude. Do you see it right above the N and the E? And like the Angeles part, it looks like IS. Dude, I think the ice cream is a terrorist, dude. But I said to the lady, I was like, you don't know how to make a black and white milkshake? She's like, I've never heard of it. And I was like, I'll take her Coke. The food was really good. So my wife comes into town and I showed her the photos of the food. She's like, we gotta go. So we go, new waitress. I said, excuse me. I don't mean to cause an issue, but have you ever heard of a black and white milkshake? And she's like, yeah, of course I have. Who hasn't? And I was like, one of your employees, one of your coworkers. I was like, could I get that? And she's like, well, I don't know if we can make it because our milkshakes are like separate. And I'm like, none of this makes sense. I go, do you have chocolate syrup? Said, yeah. I explained how to make it, and that's what they made me. Now then I put all this on the internet. It kind of went a little viral, right? Hold on a second. There's a third phase to this that no one knows. I'm performing at a show called Friendship Buddies, very good show. It's at a bar called Verdugo Bar here in LA. I'm sitting there. In the audience is someone that I recognize having worked at this restaurant because she has like a very like sort of wild haircut, right?
And you also belittled her, obviously, because you kept the trend going.
If you don't clap for me, my weight loss lady, you're also going to be locked. You know? So I went up to her at the end of the show, and she goes, "Hey, very funny." I might be making that part up, but I was like, "Hey, do you work for this restaurant?" She goes, "Yeah." I was like, let me explain what happened with the black and white milkshake." And she's like, "Yeah, that's crazy." She goes, "By the way, all of our milkshakes are based in vanilla. So a chocolate milkshake is what you're asking. It's a vanilla milkshake with chocolate syrup mixed in and mixed." I was like, that's a black and white milkshake. She goes, yeah, if you wanted a black and white, you should just ask for a chocolate milkshake. I was like, none of this makes sense. You're confusing everybody.
I'm also confused. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Most of the time I go into a restaurant, and even if there's something I don't like, I just don't go back there. But no, you make it part of your identity, which is interesting.
Someone told me I'm being a very petty New Yorker on the internet, and I go, yeah, have we met? Are you out of your mind? Okay. You think I'm not going back? I'm going back for a fourth time.
Yeah, I got to go back and obviously, make a scene, and then I leave my Yelp review. You know, that's my routine.
In my head, the perfect ending to this is the guy I yelled at in the front row on New Year's Eve is there drinking a black and white milkshake, and I slapped it out of his hand.
Yeah, you're a hero at the end of this story at all times.
I don't know what happens. I honestly think no one likes me at the end of the story, but somehow I win in my head.
All right, we're going to be back with a little bit more after this, everybody.
Thank you, Cooligans, for this awesome gift. I'm really excited, and it's really cool. Thank you. Bye.
All right, look at that. Welcome back, and welcome back, Oliver. That was so cool. That was Oliver. He is a fan. He's a big fan of Minnesota United. We saw him at our live show that we did in Minnesota with Miguel Ibarra. And Oliver, so just some background, we had a bunch of bobbleheads, a bunch of Messi bobbleheads, and we gave them away on social media. And Oliver and his mom did not win, but I had remembered them from the event. I'm like, hey, we have an extra one. Let me just send one to this kid. He's a great kid, and there it is. And he sent us this cool video. So congrats, Oliver, and yeah, thank you for all the support. It's nice to have. Look, we got little baby Cooligans fans.
It's so cool, and also he has like the OG Messi haircut, like when Messi first came in the league.
I thought that was Messi when I saw the video.
Well, they're the same height.
So hard to tell them apart, to be honest. You know, I think if Oliver,
it's actually funny.
Put some gel in his
kid
hair,
looks
you
more
can't
like
tell.
Messi than the bobble hair does.
So that was really, really cool. So thank you for that. So a couple other things we have. It's a shame because Alexis is not here for his favorite segment in the world.
I'm so angry. I am
unboxing.
Ridiculously angry that I cannot be there for an unboxing. How dare you unbox without me?
So here it is. So we got a couple. So we got two packages. One is a card, and this is adorable. This is from the Lefebvres. This is Nick and Danielle, who are speaking of. We have the Screaming Eagles scarf. I have it on the tree right here, and they sent us a holiday card, and it says, "Much love to you and yours," and it says, "Better late than never. So glad to have had the chance to meet and hang out with you too. You're the best. Come visit DC in 2020. You can meet the tiny gully one," and that's Luca. That's the little baby. That's on the card there. So
little baby Luca, the gulliest baby. And remember, they put the Gully AF sticker on the stroller.
On the stroller.
Just to let everybody in DC know.
Yeah, that's right. And it also has hydraulics. This stroller. It's pretty intense.
That's right. Baby's hitting switches on them.
So
Luca's like, "Yo, who's that baby girl over there?"
Okay. Why are babies catcalling? They shouldn't be little. Where they learn that?
This is disrespectful, Luca.
So this is another. We got another package. I don't know what it is or who it's from. So it appears to be.
My dream is that it's just for me and not for you, and you have to open it.
No, it appears to be a scarf. And who is this scarf from? This is
very nicely wrapped. By the way.
Wait. Okay, I know what this is. This is the Dominican.
I'm so angry I'm not there.
This is the Dominican Republic scarf that was sent to me by I forgot. I'm blanking on his name right now, but he's a guy. He works with the Dominican women's national team to
That's right.
help support soccer in Dominican Republic and things like that. So thank you so much for this, man. This is great. Wow, look, what an honor. Thank you so much.
That's a beautiful scarf too.
Yeah, dude. Okay. Yeah, Dominicans make high quality products. What do you want me to say? Okay.
Yeah. Also, when I think of Dominican Republic, the first thing I think of is I think my neck's gonna be cold.
Okay, this is gonna come in real handy in Punta Cana. All right?
Yeah. Could you do me a favor? Is there some type of air conditioning we can turn on so that I can use the scarf during the game?
Can you turn on the AC at the beach? You know.
Yeah. Is that possible?
My neck is sweating a little too much with this Dominican Republic scarf.
Although I got to be honest, with how skinny you are, that could be your beach towel. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You just lay down right on that.
All right.
You
Well,
just put
speaking
that
of
joint
body
out.
shaming, you know what? Why can't I be praised for the amount of weight I haven't gained, Alexis? Look out.
Because you put no effort towards that. You've got what I like to call skinny privilege. Okay.
So thank you for that. Thank you, Danielle, the LaFave family. We appreciate you guys, and Oliver, everybody. So we usually start the show by showing love to the people who show love to us, and we finally hit 600 reviews on iTunes. We did it, everybody. Thank you.
The quest for 700 begins right now.
Exactly. It's a never end. There's really no number we'll ever be happy with. And it's actually...
Nothing makes me happy.
When you think about it, it's actually a prison that we've really trapped ourselves in.
Yeah. You're a lot like the guy in the front row of the show. No number impressive.
So this is from John. Just speaking of, again, very DC heavy show. John in DC, he goes, Alexis and Christian are one of a kind. They are more than just the funniest and gulliest soccer podcast you will ever listen to. They are the crossroad between sport and culture, weaving food, music, and half a dozen ways to say straw in Spanish into insightful discussions about the world game. They even had an impact on my personal life, teaching me some of the best words with which to celebrate my daughter's birth back in March. Christian was kind enough to read the tweet out during episode 189. The answer to his question, by the way, I said the glorious phrase while holding my daughter right after my wife was moved to the recovery room after delivery. Thanks again for all you do. Fellas, vamos, Gully Squad, love and hugs, John in DC. So a little background on this. John had, we had a baby girl, and when the baby was born, he held the baby and said, "Shouts to us." He told that to his wife, which is
the best version of shouts to us so far. Yo. Shouts to you guys. And shouts to us.
Shouts to us.
We're giving them a phrase to say. Yeah.
Okay, and hopefully it could be a term that is ubiquitous, can be used everywhere in all these great moments, celebratory moments. So thank you for that, John. We appreciate it.
The first thing a child heard is shouts to us. Isn't that great?
The best.
We got a review from Mega Dave 33, which shouts to you, Mega Dave. I like that. I think this guy walks around with lasers or something. No real title, just put new review. New review. Don't worry about me.
Okay.
I'm just making a review here. 5 stars. If Alexis and Christian were pumpkin spice, I would want them in my latte.
Whoa.
Okay. Now we see how you get mega. Okay.
Okay, all right. Was this left as a Pornhub comment? Because it feels a little suggestive.
How did
suggestive.
they see my Grindr account?
Reading my Tinder bio, I see. Okay.
Pumpkin spice Latino.
So thank you for the support. Look, we have a lot to talk about today, especially. I mean, we have to probably after the break, we'll really get into the wedding. Heard around the world that unfortunately we couldn't make it to, right? I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't want to appear too bitter on television. But we'll be back in just a moment, and we'll talk about the Krashlyn wedding. Welcome back, everyone. We have to talk about it because if you are a fan of this show, a fan of Alexis Guerreros and Christian Polanco, a fan of the Cooligans, you know.
If you're a family member of ours,
okay, you know, as many of you have been, once the engagement between Ali Krieger and Ashlyn Harris was announced, we made it really a life goal. Our sole purpose in life was to make sure that we could be invited to this wedding because everybody wanted to go to this thing. And unfortunately, we didn't make it, but the wedding did happen.
No. Although, if Christian and I can be honest, we had heard some rumors that prior to the wedding becoming a bit more compacted as far as the guest list is concerned, that we were in consideration. So it's almost like we got invited to a trial, but we didn't make the cut. We didn't make the first team. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Okay, we didn't make the 18. Okay, so it's.
I wish they would have sent us, instead of a save the date, sent us like, hey, forget the date, but like we get to keep the invitation.
All right, go. You do something else that day because you didn't make it.
Yeah. Why don't you get a sandwich? But here's what the invite looks like. I mean, look at them. Everyone in this photo is gorgeous. You're seeing it now on your screen.
Yeah.
Allie and Ashton looked absolutely amazing. We got a chance to hang out with them in Bradenton, Florida, just before, and we wish them, just a happy nuptials and a great time. And look at them. They're both practically supermodels. I mean, they're absolutely drop dead beautiful. And the suit and the dress, everything looked amazing.
Yeah.
We got to kind of be there because it was all social media. Like, we were on everyone's Instagram. Just like, it's almost like we were there.
When it comes to figuring out a way to stalk this wedding through the internet, that's exactly what I did. I know everyone who was there. I know everybody who tweeted. I basically went through the Instagrams and social media handles of every person on the guest list, and I know who was there. So like the Crystal Dunns of the world, right? The Sydney LaRue, the Dom Dwyers. Megan Rapinoe gave a wonderful speech. Yes, the speech was transcribed. Okay, I know that. Because I needed to know that. So
we hacked into the teleprompter.
Okay, we did everything we could. But more than anything, I think we should, when it comes to how soccer can transcend culture, this wedding, it was realistically one of the biggest events, one of the biggest weddings. I mean, people were calling it like the royal wedding to some degree. It was from the perspective of what it meant for like the LGBTQ movement and the Ashton Harris and Ali Krieger and a lot of the people who were there are heroes when it comes to that particular movement. And it was difficult to not get it was difficult to not get emotional seeing how amazing the wedding was, but also because we weren't there, right? Because it was like,
I mean, I was there. That's why I was emotional. I was on Instagram like, oh, okay, Megan Rapinoe got the chicken. Okay, next. I was monitoring everything. Okay,
and it's hard not to get bitter. To some degree, I mean, obviously, all love, and we wish you all the best. But when you saw
bitter only because we wish we could celebrate the day with them.
That's
they
it.
Are.
It's called.
They're just two of the dopest people we've ever met.
It's called jealousy, right? And when I saw some of the people who were there, there were people sending us insider info of other people who posted stuff, and they were like, yo, you saw who got invited? The Cooligans didn't get invited, but you saw who got invited? And then there was one that perturbed me a little bit, right? Because I feel like
speak on it. Name names, Christian.
I feel like we could have taken this spot and done something better with it. But bruh, Breck Shea was invited. Breck Shea! I mean, I'm sure he's great.
What are we doing?
I'm sure he's friends and the whole thing. You got I'm sure a past and a history. Maybe you played in college together. Maybe. But come on. Breck, homie.
Let's be honest. Yo, Breck Shea. Let's be honest. He probably wasn't even invited. He just showed up. He's Breck Shea.
Okay. He's
the least likely DP in history.
He's a white man with dreadlocks. You can't do this to us. Okay?
Problematic.
We have to be above white man with dreadlocks. There's no way. I mean,
just in general. It doesn't matter where. Like, if he's in line at Chipotle, I'm allowed to cut him in line.
That's the rule. Society has agreed upon those rules.
Cut them dreads off, my dude, and you get to keep your spot.
Okay? You want to be a respected member of society? You know what you got to do. I
ain't out here looking like a Viking.
Braveheart looking ass. You
They won't take off freedom looking ass.
So, a bunch of generally cool moments. Their cake was great. The cake, when you cut into it, it was a rainbow. There was another
beautiful.
a beautiful moment. Sidney LaRue, who officiated the wedding. You know, which look, we were trying to officiate the wedding. That was like that was the proposal. We offered. Okay.
Oh, they got a national team player who happens to be like their best friend. Okay, all right.
Okay, I see how that works, or whatever. Maybe not the
Bit
direction.
hacky, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Not the direction we would have went, but I understand.
You know?
But
well, let me tell you this, Allie and Ashlyn. When Christian and I get married, you can officiate.
And I hope you feel bad when you were officiating the wedding.
That's right.
So, but overall, an incredible, experience. I'm sure it was really cool. And it was kind of cool that, Ali Krieger and Ashton put out, there's like a video, like a little, I don't know if it's a highlight reel. I mean, it was like a cool thing that they put out their wedding video minutes, I think, after the wedding was over. They were like on top of it. So they got to.
They're editors. Editors got invited to the wedding, and we didn't.
Everyone, they let everyone kind of experience this moment with them, which I think kind of puts them on this I don't know, pillar of like of really trying to push these issues for gay people, for women, for women's rights. They're really trying to
It's a human rights issue, and especially with the way the world is right now, it's a beautiful thing that they put this video out and that they were able to share this with everyone. Even if we couldn't be there, it was beautiful and happy. And thanks so much for letting the whole world see it.
Okay. Yeah, it was incredible. So, all right, we'll be back with maybe more and maybe less jealous stuff after this. Okay, hello, welcome back. So, the big news, finally, New York City Football Club has a coach. It's been long enough.
Yeah, just like that, what was that, Indiana Jones thing? And he slides right under the gate that's coming down.
Okay.
Basically that.
So appointed Ronnie Dela. He was he formerly managed Celtic, and he took them to 2 championships. He won the title. He won the league twice with them. But he recently just came from. I'm not. There's no way I'm going to be able to say the name correctly. A Norwegian club. I'm going to say Valerenga. Valerenga. Hopefully that is as close as possible, and I'm not butchering it. I hope Norwegians are not mad at me.
You made it so Latino. You're like, oh, yes, this Norwegian club. Valerenga.
I'm sure.
Like castanets.
I'm sure that's how they say it. It's also strange. He's Norwegian, but his name is Ronnie. Like, he's like not really a name you just associate with somebody from Norway. Just Ron.
It's not that Scandinavian sounding. Ronnie Dela. Ronnie Dela sounds like my last Uber driver, who he and I talked about what it's like to be Latino in LA. Yeah.
So, but big news, and some people are, already the negativity. You can't be a New Yorker without, and somebody steps in the city and like, hey, what are you doing here? What are you here about? Like,
you think you're better than me, dog? Right.
And people are already. The 2 titles that he did win with Celtic apparently were because, or a big reason was because the Rangers were not in the league at the time. I don't know why. They must have done something wrong that they weren't in the league for 2 seasons. But that's when he.
You don't remember? They went into administration. So instead of, that's why Celtic fans believe that there is no real old firm, which is the Classico when the two of them play. Because they got sent to the 4th division, but it's a different ownership. So they say it's like a whole new club just to disrespect them even further.
Wow.
But they climbed from the 4th division back to the 1st, so now they're back together. But yeah, Ronnie won during those years where Celtic were sort of alone. I hate saying that because there are other clubs.
Yeah,
it's not like they.
It's not.
It's a bit of a cakewalk for them.
Well, it's not a breeze, right? It's just like there's no.
Also, what the hell is a cakewalk? Has anyone ever figured out what that means?
Hey,
I thought about that. I'm like, walking with a cake is kind of hard. You don't want to drop it.
It's also kind of it's like an oxymoron because people who love cakes also don't like to walk. So hey.
There it is. Wow, were you at front row of a show on New Year's Eve?
Hey man, I'm in LA. I'm right next to you, buddy. Anyway.
Skinny privilege strikes again.
So look, I think this is clearly very important. They had to appoint someone. I think with how long it took for Dela to be appointed. I think that just meant how kind of unexpectedly, or how unexpected it was that Dome Torrent left the team, because it took about, I believe, 2 months to get a coach. And this is always the issue in Major League Soccer. Well, as soon as the season is over and you're looking for a coach, you're looking for a coach during the winter break when coaches have jobs. They are currently working. They are not available to
the rest of the world.
They're not. They're working. They can't just go on an interview on a very high-profile public interview. So. I'm
right. It's like trying to hire someone during them leading a conference call. No, come here.
So he was the last manager that was the last vacancy. So he was appointed, and then the other one, Inter Miami, got their coach before NYCFC even did, and they got Diego Alonso from
El Uruguayo,
who came from Rayados, if I'm not mistaken. So he
was also, I think, U17 coach for US at the time.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know too much about him. He left Monterrey mid-season, but I gotta, because and then that was Antonio Mohamed, Turco Mohamed, who took over and ended up winning for with Rayados. But he hasn't made. I don't think Miami has made any public. They haven't done a press conference or anything. I don't think there's anything much has happened. So we don't know too much about him.
It's really just that ad.
Okay,
just that sort of photo they put up. That's it. That's all they've done.
Sure. All they did, they swiped right, but they haven't gone on the date yet. So
right. There's no proof. It's like when you're like, no, I got a girlfriend, but she's Canadian.
Sure.
You can't meet her. Here's a photo of her. It says Getty Images on it.
Inter Miami can still be getting catfish. We do not know. So I hope for the best.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Diego Alonso, no, I'm Diego Alonzi. So
yeah,
you can understand.
Sam Allardyce shows up. Hello, I'm Diego.
Hey, are you judging my Hispanic heritage? How dare you?
Yeah, he's drinking mate. They're like, it kind of smells like there's whiskey in that gourd. How dare you?
Degrade and insult my culture. So
my great Uruguayan heritage.
So
is that the flag? Am I pointing at the flag? Someone tell me if I'm pointing at the correct flag.
There's a lot to look forward to because, especially with NYCFC, they have their preseason is starting in, I believe, less than 2 weeks. They have a Champions League game in a little over a month. So old Ronnie gotta get familiarized very quickly. So it's not gonna be an easy transition.
A lot of work. But I think if you are a fan of the press, it looks like that's his preferred system. So kind of exciting.
Yeah. Oh, look,
it's a fun brand of soccer.
I watched his first interview. He's saying all the right things. I play attacking football, and I just want to get to know the players. And we saw there was a game. He had a wager with the supporters that if he won a particular game against someone, or I forgot who it was against, but that he would strip and do push-ups naked in front of all the support. No, he was in his underwear, but he did do this. So the dude is clearly.
But I think it was if he avoided. Yeah, if he saved Valerenga from relegation, or relegation, as they say in Norway, he would do that. He would do push-ups naked, but he did it in Speedos, basically.
Yeah, clearly the dude's gully as hell. Crazy? No, he has no interest in being politically correct or whatever. The dude seems wild. So perfect for New York City. All right, so we'll be back with more after this, everybody. All right, hello, welcome back. So the more news with Zlatan. Zlatan, we thought we were done with him in 2019 after he left Major League Soccer, but no.
It's like a weekly Zlatan update. Welcome to the Zlatan
we need
segment here
a graphic, some Zlatan segment that so people can kind of emotionally
like,
adjust.
Where in the world
is Zlatan Ibrahimovic? All right, is that? I hope that's not some copyright infringement. I don't know. Who knows? Fubo, that's your problem, not mine.
Yeah, you figure it out. Also, I'm gonna wrap all of Eminem's catalog real quick.
So, but no, we have been talking about the statue that is outside of his former his former team, outside of the stadium.
I believe you mean the former statue.
Yeah.
Right now it's just a couple feet.
Because if we go back and do a kind of a recap from when we first started talking about it, it went from him being excited about the introduction to where we are now, where the statue is constantly being vandalized over and over. They've tried.
My favorite part of this statue right now is that the fencing did not work.
They tried their best. No, it did nothing. So it went from a big reveal, and everybody was really excited. Zlatan standing in front of the statue with all his adoring fans, and then as soon as he becomes part owner of the rival club, Hammarby. That's it. The fans were like, we don't want this statue here, and did everything they could to vandalize it, right? They started putting garbage can on his head and didn't they put like a diaper or something? They everything. They set it on fire.
They lit it on fire.
They did.
Yeah. Which I think is why it kind of has
that
white speckled look.
And they cut off the statue's nose. Now it has no nose.
Which is... I mean, it's worse than that. They cut the statue's nose off, and then they toppled the thing. They cut its ankle.
It's like they're trying to take down a dictator. I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
This is absurd.
Yeah, they had they were pulling it down, like the Saddam Hussein statue.
Yeah, okay. We don't even do this in our country, and we have literally people who own slaves, all right? And they're more respectful to those statues. It makes no sense.
The statue, remember that weird Michael Jackson statue outside of Fulham?
No. Do
you remember that?
No.
Yeah, the owner is like a massive Michael Jackson fan. So he put like a very odd statue of Michael Jackson outside of the Fulham grounds. I hope I'm correct by saying it's Fulham. And the fans just wrote a petition to get rid of it. They didn't start cutting the nose off of it.
What? I mean, Michael Jackson, of course, any statue of Michael Jackson will be awkward because he was an awkward man. He was a very awkward looking person, right? So this is...
Yeah.
What was
the weirdest part about that statue is no child was allowed within 500 feet of it. So, I mean, it's like, you had to go to the other gate
everybody's safety.
To get in the game.
That is best for everyone, okay?
Hey, you don't know what that statue's going to do. You know? Okay,
all I know, the statue makes me uncomfortable because it's on his knees all the time. Relax. I don't know what he's up to. Anyway.
You almost got a spit take. I swear, man, when I walk past that statue of my nephew, they try to give it candy.
Yeah.
They try to give my nephew candy.
They say he's trying to do the Henri slide, but I don't trust it. No, it doesn't.
I don't know. I don't know.
No, this is wild with... What is the resolution for these Malmo fans? They obviously clearly don't want the statue there. They keep putting the statue...
I'll tell you what it is.
It's
not what Malmo's going to do, which is put the statue back. They're going to do another statue. Stop with the statues.
I mean, you would think that even Malmo, their front office, would be kind of offended that this statue also kind of represents their rival club as well. Why? Like they might feel a bit deceived by Zlatan from like literally 1 month.
I got an idea.
What?
Here's my idea: a Zlatan dartboard. Charge a couple dollars to like get people throw darts.
Okay.
That's Zlatan. All that money goes to charity.
Almost like a what are those rage rooms, you know, where you just go in and break stuff, but it could be like Zlatan face everywhere, because people have to get this anger out, but also there has to be some way to show some appreciation for Zlatan, right? He started his career there. I mean, will there ever be any kind of forgiveness? Will there ever be any kind of acknowledgement by soccer supporters? Because it seems like they will not forgive and they will not forget.
No, and nor should they. This is like a massive disrespect to own the biggest rival of the club that you helped sort of propel forward and that put you on the map. How dare you? No. If Derek Jeter, and I've said this before, if Derek Jeter became owner of the Red Sox, there'd be all types of people burning memorabilia, hats, anything they got from Derek Jeter.
Again, this is a very ongoing theme with you. You're like,
I literally said it just to upset you.
But this you know what you are? You're
stuff.
basically the McCarthy era, you know, but like instead of like calling people communists, you say they have STDs. This is your move.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I gotta be honest, made me laugh.
Anyway, yes, but you know what? Derek Jeter owns the Miami Marlins, so.
Yeah, but don't nobody care about that, including people from Miami, including players of the Miami Marlins.
Anyway, okay, we'll be back with more nonsense after this, everybody. All right. So the I wish there was more positive news when it came, because obviously the last couple
It's never
days
good when you start that way.
the last couple days have not been real great for old Trumpy Trump, because he's affecting soccer now. All right, now we raise our concerns.
Not too far.
All the other stuff
But that impeachment.
we had no issues with, and we had no problem with whatsoever. But now that soccer's being affected,
Sarcasm.
we have to mention it. No, but recently the U.S. men's national team was about to have their training camp, and they were going to go train in warmer weather in Qatar, which is also raises questions like, why are we training in Qatar? Who knows why? But
You're preparing for the World Cup? I mean, that's the only reason I can think of.
But the U.S. men's national team had to put out a statement because they were originally scheduled to go there, but they are not going anymore. They were going to train in Doha, and they said due to the developing situation in the region, U.S. soccer has decided to postpone traveling to Qatar for the men's national team scheduled January training camp. In the meantime, we are working on alternative arrangements in preparation for the match against Costa Rica on February 1st at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. And then this was the weird sentence. It says, we are working with Qatar Football Association to find an opportunity in the near future for our team to experience Qatar's world-class facilities and hospitality. And that was like the little bone they threw there to just be like, oh, yeah, we're still cool with you. Please let us.
Everything's cool. Everything's cool.
I know, we're, dealing with, just bombing the region, but like that has nothing to do with you and I. Like, we cool.
Yo, like, all right. We're not cool with your man, but we're cool with you, okay? But look,
right.
We're not showing up to the party because your man's might be there. But in the future, we would love to check out the world-class charcuterie that I hear you be putting out at these parties.
Let's compartmentalize our feelings at the moment.
Yeah.
So
it's like, when you have a friend and you don't like their significant other, You know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah.
look, me and you, we could still hang out. But when your man shows up, I gotta be out.
That's how it is. I tell D is my friend, and I tell her, man, I'm not a huge fan of your significant other. I tell her all the time.
Yeah, look, just because I do a show with him, don't mean I really like mess with him like that. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, obviously, look, the last couple of days have been insane. We you know, it's just like from a political standpoint, from a global standpoint, like you know, it's difficult to figure out how to feel. I mean, there's bigger issues than soccer, but you know, for soccer fans, is there bigger issues in soccer? You know, that sometimes it doesn't feel that way.
I mean, yeah, we were worried about whether we were going to qualify for the World Cup. There might not be a world.
I think the U.S. is going to qualify for World War III. I think they got that down pat.
Yeah. Can Trinidad and Tobago help stop this?
Please. Yes, that'd be
make Bruce Arena a general. Do something.
General Arena, what do we got to do? Please save us from this mess.
He's like, the most important thing we could do is put a little bit of mayo on the top bun and then let the shredded lettuce. Are you talking about a sandwich right now? Brooklyn Bruce.
Interesting strategy. No, it's all just disappointing and obviously depressing, scary, and yeah, for the sake of for you know the region, for us, you hope there isn't a war over this. It's like, it's just absolute insanity. And yeah, that's the positive note of this political show that you can you know, you can take away. So I hope you appreciate it, everybody. All right. So all right, we'll be back with more right after this. All right, we did it. We did it again, Alexis. Even all the way in Los Angeles, that didn't prevent you from joining us today.
Bro, when you were in Japan, we didn't stop. When you were in Dominican Republic, we didn't stop. When I was in Ireland, we didn't stop. I'm in Los Angeles. Of course, we're not going to stop, baby.
Imagine it's yeah. Even in the same country. Imagine you were in Los Angeles and be like, nah, I can't do it. Well, I'm in the same country.
I'm not really feeling it.
Nah, the distance isn't far enough. But thank you again for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate you. Make sure you tune in on Thursday because we're going to be joined by DJ Deveni, who is a freestyler. We're going to have a freestyler doing tricks inside the studio. I'm going to make sure he breaks at least one thing because I know everyone
I can't wait for the audio of people listening to a guy doing freestyle tricks. This is going to be awesome.
It's going to be lovely. So make sure to tune in. We will always have a good time on the show. So, again, make sure you follow at Soccer Cooligans on all social media. Follow at Fubo Sports.
5-star reviews.
Yep, 5-star. Leave a review on iTunes. That'd be lovely. And follow the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Fubo Sports YouTube channel to watch all the full episodes. So, with that said, I will we'll end the show as we normally do. My name is Christian Polanco.
And I'm Alexis inside of this big TV.
And together, what are we? The Cooligans!
The Cooligans!